Aaron Copland was born on November 14, 1900, in Brooklyn, New York. He was one of the most important American composers during the 20th century. His main concern was making Americans aware of the importance of music. After high school, Copland studied at the American Conservatory in Fontainebleau, France, where his main teacher was French composer Nadia Boulanger. Copland had been attracted to the music of Scriabin, Debussy, and Ravel. Studying in Paris provided him the opportunity to hear and absorb the most recent European music, including works of Stravinsky, Bartók, and Schoenberg. In France, Copland found a musical community unlike any he had known. He sold his first composition to Durand and Sons, which was the most respected publisher in France. A composition is the creation of a musical work or piece. In 1924, Copland finished his studies and returned to America and composed Symphony for Organ and Orchestra, his first major work. Music for Theater and a Piano Concerto explored the possibility of combining jazz and symphony music. A concerto is a composition usually written in 3 sections or movements, featuring the interplay of one or more soloists and an orchestra. Sergei Kossovitsky, conductor of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, became interested in what he had heard from the young composer, and he helped gain a wider audience for Copland's music. A conductor is the director of an orchestra, choir, or other performing group. For Copland, jazz was the first genuinely American major music movement. Jazz is characterized by strong, prominent meter, improvisation, and dotted or syncopated patterns. He hoped to draw inspiration for a new type of symphonic music that could distinguish itself from the music of Europe. In the late 1920s, Copland's attention turned to popular music of other countries. He moved away from his interest in jazz and began expanding the audience for American classical music. He believed that classical music would one day be as popular as jazz in America. Classical music is European music of the classical period, composed from about 1750 to 1825. Copland had become not only one of the most popular composers in the country, but a leader of the community of American classical musicians by the mid-1930s. In the mid-1930s through 1950, Copland made an effort to widen the audience for American music and was working on changing his music style when writing pieces requested for different occasions. He composed music for theater, ballet, and films. His ballets, Billy and the Kid and the Rodeo, and Apache in Spring, he made use of the folk melodies and relaxed his style to make it sound more American. His most popular compositions for films are those of Mice of Men, Our Town, and The Harris, which won him an Academy Award for Best Score. 2 of his most popular ballets include Agnes de Mille's Rodeo and Apache in Spring, won him the Pulitzer Prize. Both of these ballets presented views of American country life. Copland became a teacher at New York School for Social Research at Harvard University, where he was concerned with establishing a tradition of music in American life. He was head of the composition department at the Berkshire Music Center in Massachusetts. As a scholar, he wrote more than 60 articles and essays on music, as well as 5 books. Through the 50s, Copland slowed his work as a composer and began trying his hand at conducting. Over the next 20 years, he traveled the world, conducting live performances and creating an important collection of recorded work. By the early 1970s, he had, with a few exceptions, stopped writing original music. Aaron Copland spent his last years of life living in New York City. He engaged in many cultural missions, especially in South America. He remained semi-active in the music world and conducted his last symphony in 1983. Unfortunately, Copland died in New York City on December 2nd, 1990.